China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi has expressed shock at recent comments made by the Japanese Prime Minister on Taiwan. In a statement, he accused Sanae Takaichi of crossing a red line on possible military intervention. Now, speaking in Parliament last Friday, Takaichi said any attack on Taiwan would constitute a survival-threatening situation for Japan, a phrase that could legally allow Japan to activate its self-defense forces. Alexis Dudden is a professor of history at the University of Connecticut and a visiting professor of Japanese studies at the National University of Singapore. I asked her if she thought the Japanese Prime Minister's comments were off the cuff or deliberate.
I would say deliberate point for two related reasons. One, she's a known hawk, and she's visited Taiwan as a parliamentarian. She believes in a very strong Japan militarily. She's also Japan's first female prime minister, and this cannot be discounted. If you look at global coverage of her, it's all about she rides motorcycles, she's into heavy metal. It's trying to sort of masculinize her, and going up strong against China right out of the bat is something that I think she chose intentionally.
Is there a sense of whether there's actually support for her position, not just politically, but amongst the populace?
So she's got a strong support rate. I think it's in the 60 percentile right now. But if you read every single op-ed, except for by the extreme far right, everybody's saying, okay, it's time to dial this down. Let's dial this way back, because nobody wants an actual conflagration.
There has been some analysis suggesting that there is a growing desire in Japan to redefine national identity. Do you agree with that position? And if so, what is driving it?
So it's been going on for several decades, and Japan is as divided an open society as many open societies are today. And the fault line rests on whether or not Japan is able to act as what Japanese politicians who support the idea call a normal nation, nomaru in Japanese, and that means to have the ability to wage war outside Japan's borders, which it has not had the ability to do, nor has done since 1945. And many Japanese do not want that. And it's a 50-50 situation here. And it rests on the Constitution's prescription against Japan having the sovereign right to wage war, which is actually sort of a wonderful thing if you think about what's going on in the world. But Takaichi and her supporters view that, in their words, as masochistic, emasculating, and they blame the United States for it, which is a little ironic since the United States is Japan's security guarantor.
So how central are debates about Japan's history in shaping Tokyo's politics in 2025?
Well, denialism is front and center because the two most popular films, for example, this summer in China about the notorious Japanese biological warfare unit 731 and the latest film about the Nanjing massacre, are banned in Japan. And so it's denial of atrocities Japan committed outside Japan's borders shapes the politics of Takaichi.
Is it possible to say at this point whether what the Japanese Prime Minister said is really ultimately just going to be a temporary bump in the road, or whether it could open up to a whole different approach coming from Japan towards China after many years of accepting this is something we're not going to touch?
Noticeably, this latest round of China-Japan standoff did not originate with a history spat, but it's quickly spiraling into something from which we all know in recent history, it takes a while to recover from, especially economically. This spat will hurt both China and Japan. Japanese businesses are scrambling to ask the government to really dial it back. Let's just de-escalate this situation. It's already, from what I understand, cost over US $1 billion in tourist dollars from China to Japan.